Alright, comic and gaming fans, I have a video for both of you today because we're going to talk about something that is a tragedy of epic proportions. We're talking about dog shit here. You ready? We're talking about a franchise so massive, so ingrained in our pop culture that it seemed untouchable, even in the video game world. We're talking about the X-Men. Now, I can't imagine anyone on this faceless earth not knowing what the X-Men are, but just in case, since the late 80s, or even mid-80s, to the 90s, the X-Men were huge. I'm talking about animated series that defined a generation, comics that dominated the stands, and even those early live action movies from the early 2000s were bigger than any other comic movie, save maybe Spider-Man. The point is, X-Men was huge. And when it came to video games, the mutants weren't slouching there either. We had arcade classics like The Children of Atom and X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and then came my personal holy grails, X-Men Legends 1 and 2. And let's not forget the surprisingly badass movie tie-in, Wolverine Origins. Seriously, I'm going to talk more about that game later, but that Wolverine game was brutal, it was fun, and it stands up as one of the best, if not my favorite, movie-based game ever. And X-Men Legends, it's a top-down action RPG, was pure comic book bliss, and especially X-Men Legends 2, which took everything from 1 and did it better, and then it even had a spiritual successor with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I ate that shit up, but let's talk about Legends 2. It was so good. Does anybody remember that, or is it just me, or am I that old? I don't know. I love that game. If you played that game, let me know in the comments below if you liked X-Men Legends 1 or 2 more. The whole point of me freaking out there and fanboying is that X-Men had name recognition even in the gaming world. They had cool characters, they had awesome powers. So what in the actual fuck happened with X-Men Destiny? So the premise alone sounds like a dream come true to any X-Men fan. Create your own mutant. Imagine the possibilities, shape your powers, make choices that impact the story. Think Mass Effect or Dragon Age, but set in the X-Men universe. Yo, my inner comic book geek was doing backflips at this point. I was about to go crazy with this game. But holy shit, did reality come crashing down quicker than Juggernaut through a wall? This was rough. Now let's be clear, the developers Silicon Knights weren't the only ones to blame here. Rumor has it that publishers were breathing down their necks, rushing things to the door, and Silicon Knights themselves weren't exactly coming off a flawless victory lap after Too Human, a game I personally found pretty janky. But X-Men Destiny, this is a new level of disaster. The setup is classic X-Men. Cyclops is leading the charge, and the Brotherhood is stirring up problems. And you, as the player, get to choose the sides. That sounds awesome, right? Wrong, apparently. The choices you make in this game feel utterly meaningless. Which is a huge problem, because that's one of the selling points of the game. The story just chugs along the same damn path, no matter who you really align with. So why even bother to give the illusion of choice? It's like you just slapped that feature in and then just called it a day and said, no matter what you do, you're going to still get the same story just about. But let's talk about the looks here too, because the character designs are fine, I guess. The powers are passable. I mean, this is years ago as you're watching this footage, but the environments, woo, they look like god-awful trash. We're talking about generic, drab, mid-2000s level, ugly-ass trash. Broken building, lifeless streets, bland outdoor areas, check, check, check. It feels like this part of the game was straight up unfinished. It just looks bad. But the gameplay, wow. Let's talk about that. It's been fun, right? Okay, so you get to pick your power, which again, sounds cool, right? You're thinking, oh, well, that sounds awesome. And you even get a skill tree. That sounds really cool too, right? I know it sounds cool, but you guys weren't there when you played this. And if you were, you know what I'm talking about. But that part actually had potential. But then you try to move. Oh yeah, you try to move in this game. The platforming is stiff. It's clunky. It's just plain bad. The combat. Prepare for probably the most repetitive button mashing boredom about an hour in. I think I had more fun playing the movie tie-in for fucking Green Lantern than this game. And then they give you power moves, but they all feel the same. So even though you get these powers and you get this skill tree to add some new moves, it all boils down to a lot of passive buffs. So the mutants never really feel unique in action. So it makes you really go, why the fuck did I even pick these powers? They're all the same. And the cherry on the top of this steaming pile of shit is the AI is atrocious. The enemies just stand there waiting to be punched. The game is laughably easy all the time, making every encounter feel like a tedious chore rather than an exciting superhero brawl. It feels like a broken beta, not a finished project. And the final insult, or maybe a gift from the gods, is that this game is 4 or 5 hours long at most. An action RPG where you're supposed to make impactful choices and build a unique character is shorter than one of like the extended editions of fucking Lord of the Rings. What a colossal, unforgivable piece of shit letdown. And really the worst part of it all is that this game nuked the X-Men franchise in the video game world. Think about it. From the late 80s, like I think 89, up to the 2011 era, we were getting X-Men games pretty consistently. Maybe a year or two we wouldn't get one, but for the most part they were coming out pretty fast. And then X-Men Destiny drops in 2011, and since then we've gotten a fucking mobile game that nobody knows, nobody cares because it was garbage, and that's it. No proper X-Men console title for frickin' 15 years. That is insane for a movie franchise this massive, for a comic franchise this massive, or just for a media entertainment franchise this massive. Now, I'm not one to dwell on bad games. I just, play them. If they're not good, I don't think about them. But X-Men Destiny was a genuine slap to the face of comic fans, movie fans of the franchise, animated fans of the franchise, and anyone who just wanted a decent video game as well. It was a spectacular failure that seemed to scare off anyone to make another X-Men in the gaming space for over a decade. And that's why I'm talking about it more than I usually talk about games I dislike. Because to stop an entire franchise, one that many love, and X-Men means so much to them, to literally stop that from coming into a space for video games because your game is so bad, I'm sorry, that's fucking monumental, and you need a clap because you fucked that shit up really bad. But hey, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon with Insomniac's Wolverine game. I hope it still comes out with all the leaks, and maybe, just maybe, that title can finally redeem this legendary franchise in the video game world, and maybe open the floodgates for more mutant games besides just Wolverine in the years to come. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because 15 years is far too long to go without a proper X-Men game. I mean, the franchise is literally axing to make video games in the modern day, and they can make so many different types of games, from RPGs to action games to strategy games. Give me a fucking X-Men game, please, and not this shit again. If you ever do this again, I swear to God, whoever makes a game as bad as X-Men Destiny, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that serious. Anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you love this video, hit the subscribe button. And if you want more fun, nerdy shit, come back and watch more of my stuff. I do plenty of these type of videos all the time. But I mostly stay positive. But I had to talk about X-Men Destiny, how it fucking destroyed a franchise in gaming! Okay, I'm gone.